Hi guys, Mr. Shaw here again. Day 4 of this fun trial that we have online. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to finish up the prosthetic notes that we had started yesterday online. And then I'm going to send you a video. It's about the C leg. Basically, it's going to have something to do with prosthetics and your gait cycle. I think you guys will enjoy it. It's kind of similar to the Hue hair video that I sent out the other day. Much shorter, probably about 2 minutes long, but it actually goes into the details of how the leg actually functions and why it's such a good thing. And then there's just going to be a quick 1 or 2 sentence response online. All right, let's go into it. So, it would help if I press the right button. There we go. All right, so if you've ever heard of something called the gait cycle before, for anyone that does any sort of running, this is kind of useful. Gait cycle is just how our natural body actually moves through it. You'll notice that we stand on 2 legs, which is kind of novel for animals all around. There's a lot of animals that mainly walk on 4 legs. So because of this, we have some very specific, unique aspects to ours. You'll notice right here on the bottom, and it actually kind of goes through and it shows left and right foots as they're sitting down there. So typically we have our left and our right foot down together at one point, but then as soon as we pick up the left foot, we're on single support. And so we have to have our whole body supporting that one side. So one of the things that we have to look at when we're designing these types of prosthetics is how you deal with this change from single support to double support and back to progress ourselves forward. And here's one of the main things that drives that. If you look at this right here, our heel is always moving. And if you think about the heel itself, the heel is moved a lot by the calves in your leg itself. So if we have a prosthetic that doesn't have anything that mimics the calves, we're in trouble because you're not going to have that standard gait movement that you would expect. So this is one of the first ones called the C leg. This is different than Hue Hair's design that we saw. But what it was the first leg that allowed the user to speed up or slow down, take on hills, recover from stumbles, go up or down stairs, step over step. In the past, if you were going up, you'd kind of almost be like peg-legged as you're going up there. And I'm sure you guys have probably seen people that have had traditional prosthetics where it's just either a straight leg or one that doesn't really bend that much, and it doesn't really look that natural. So having something that allows this sort of movement, first off, if you're wearing pants, you wouldn't even be able to tell that they have a prosthetic leg. And even if they were wearing shorts or something, it's going to allow that person to have a more normal movement, and it's not going to hurt them as much in the upper body. Think about yourself. If you ever hurt yourself, hurt a leg, hurt a foot, and how that affects the rest of your body if you have a limp or something. It changes the whole rest of movement for your body and actually will hurt other parts of you. What it does is it anticipates the movements that the wearer has. So as you're moving, it's able to adjust and change up to, in this case, 50 times a second for this type of leg. So that if you were making small different movements, it's going to change up. It's going to make the spring in the leg either a little stiffer, a little softer, allow it to move faster, allow it to move slower. Now, another part of this we're looking at is the idea of feet. So you guys have probably seen stuff like this before, especially in the Paralympics. They've gotten so good, in fact, that there's actually been talk of, are they too much of an advantage for people to have those over people that don't? But basically, you design prosthetics much like people have shoes, all right? So there's stuff for running, there's stuff for climbing, there's stuff for dancing, all sorts of different types of prosthetics that you can change in and out. And here's the idea. So with these feet that you're changing out, again, the calf muscles and the feet are critical in that movement for the running, the jumping, the balance. When we didn't have anything that mimicked these muscles right here, it looked very unnatural and people weren't able to do what they could. So the modern day feet that we have out there are going to mimic those actions of the calf muscles itself. Now you're probably looking at all this and wondering, that seems pretty expensive. How can we get all this stuff out there? Well, that's the problem and where it lies. So if we're looking at the typical cost of these, at least what they were last time I looked them up, legs, basic prosthetics, that's just that standard prosthetic that's not even bending any of that sort of stuff, $10,000. If you're looking at a computerized one, you're looking at $50,000 to $70,000. So that's more than a car. And if you think about this, legs, prosthetics, they don't last a whole long time, all right? For the most part, you're looking on the lines of maybe 5 years lasting. Think about shoes. Shoes don't last you that long. If you're wearing something every single day, especially if it's an integral part of your body, it is going to have to be replaced at some point, especially if you're a growing child. Arms, this is where it gets a little crazier. Basic arms, $3,000. But you start getting into computerized ones because you're dealing with all those integral movement right there, $30,000 to $100,000. And like I said, they typically are going to be replaced every 3 to 4 years due to wear and tear of that artificial limb. So this money basically goes very quick. So that's one of the things that you hope that insurance covers it, and if not, you hope that you have a lot of money, especially if you want to wear one of the nicer limbs. Now, there are a lot of things out there. If we were in class, we would basically be going through and I would be showing you how to make a prosthetic arm from scratch. We've actually started working on making prosthetic hands in the 3D printers at the school itself. But obviously we're not at the school, so can't show you what's going on there. So there are ways around it, especially for the arms, and how to computerize that with 3D printing, make it pretty cheap. Legs are a little tougher just because there's so much of the body weight that actually sits on it itself. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out a video. Like I said, it's a short 2 to 3 minute video. It's much shorter than this video that I have going on right now. It's about 7 minutes long. And then there's just going to be a couple questions to go along with that. Hope everything's going well, guys, and talk to you later.